hazme un favor, imagina el sol fuerte con brisa, se siente tan fresco como poniendo los tenis más nuevos. Míralo, mi destino, como sigo. Look at the vida de Nino. Mi camino tiene derecho. They tell me go left, but yo sigo derecho. So I'ma just stick to the basics. Life handed me this, so I take it in stride with pride. Sigo mi destino.
Saluka took me to his village to meet his family and friends, a rare treat for a foreigner.
Oh, this is your family. They're beautiful. Hello.
At the village, we were greeted by smiles.
Hello. Hello.
There were about 15 residents in total. We all sat in the shade of the tree while I handed out some cookies to the children.
You like that cookie? Is this your baby?
Me baby.
Your baby. And what is this?
Tortoise.
Tortoise. Beautiful. Oh, necklace.
Necklace. Tortoise, they bake it.
Oh, you go sleep now. Good baby.
Saluka, the chief, gave me his hand-carved walking stick as a token of friendship. I felt very privileged.
Kevin, this is a huge operation. What's going on here?
This is Weyerhaeuser Port McNeill Timberland's dryland sort operation. All the wood comes in from the bush and gets dumped on our deck here, and we process it. We have some crews on the deck. As you can see, they're going through the logs and scaling them and grading them and deciding where that wood's going to go, what's its best end use.
I was a bit surprised when I saw some women working with the logs, so I decided that I'd like to go speak with them. Are there a lot of women working here?
At this dry land, there are 3 employees who work for Weyerhaeuser.
What about in the rest of the forestry industry? Are there women lumberjacks,
Yes.
for example?
Lumberjacks, that's a very old term. Anyways, yeah, there's women around running loaders and driving trucks and that. There's not that many of them. Some of the other divisions have got a lot of ladies running front-end loaders and stackers. Yeah. So, I mean, there are women out there.
If lumberjack isn't the correct term, what's the correct term?
Logger.
Logger. Okay, that's good to know.
Yes.
Well, Lily, all the logs that we looked at up at the dryland sort eventually end up down here. We have 3 guys working down here in what we call the booming grounds. As the pocket fills up, they'll close it off. We call it a boom. A tug will come in here once the tow reaches a certain size and take the whole thing away and down to our mills.
Then these tiny little boom boats that look like toy boats pushed the logs into place. Basically, every boy's dream job. Not my kind of thing, but I decided to give it a shot.
So what are you doing here?
Right now, we're gonna load that stick pocket there so the guy can drill some sticks.
So basically we're pushing logs.
Yeah, logs come down from the dry land, get dumped in different sorts.
How long have you been doing this?
About 10 years.
Years.
Yeah.
Were you in a different part of the logging?
Yeah, I used to work out in the bush. Yeah, logging out the side of. Yeah. That's about for the last, I don't know, 20-something years. I started when I was 16.
Oh, wow.
Because we arrived earlier than anticipated, we decided to wait in the tower and try and warm up while we waited for the plane. As we landed, I thanked Virginia for a wonderful flight and braced myself for the cold.
I'd heard about a very famous carver in town, Gilbert Hay, and I decided to go by his house and pay him a little visit. I was just amazed to see the way that he worked. He had big mask on and glasses, hat, and everything to protect himself from the dust that was coming off of this stone as he was carving it. Hi. I understand you're Gilbert Hay?
Yes.
I've been watching you work on this masterpiece here. It's beautiful. He was nice enough to take some time after he had done his carving and talk to me a little bit about it.
He has feet, legs, arms, hands. He has a hood. Everything is there except his face.
He's going incognito.
It could be anybody. It could be you.
So who do you think he is?
Could be the devil itself, if there's such a thing. It could be God itself.
So, and this represents being faceless. Yes, this is the person in the night who you don't know who it is.
You don't know who it is, you don't know what it is.
Do you believe that the stone has spirit also? There's spirit in everything, right?
Yes.
Including in the stone.
Yes.
So, how do you work with that? How do you use that?
Well, a lot of the times when you playing around with stone and stuff, it has a fracture in it. That means that wherever that stone decides to break, then that's the limit I have.
What kind of stone is that?
This particular piece is locally known as speckled Labrador.
Can you actually go and find it in the hills here, or?
Girl, 10 feet under you, you're sitting on it.
I'm sitting on this. All right. Well, not looking anywhere as pretty as this piece, that's for sure.
Live here all the summer from March to September, October.
Wow, so you get like some peace and quiet and...
Yeah.
But do you also like hunt and fish?
But we go on hunting and fishing.
So what do you hunt for?
For seal in the summer.
Okay.
And in the winter we hunt rabbits and birds.
Oh wow! What a great cemetery. Very mystical.
Yeah.
Are there any ghosts in the village?
A lot of people meant there are ghosts.
Oh really? Good ghosts.
Yes.
Like good spirits.
Yes. But a lot of the people who come here is afraid to go
In the
around
cemetery.
in the evening.
How come the graves are like they're so high up?
It's because they lay the dead people on the ground and build rocks up about them.
So is it because the ground is too hard and they can't dig?
Yes.
Do you know anybody that's buried in here?
No, I don't know the people who's buried here because it was before I came in here.
What were these tracks used for? Many years ago, fishing was a big industry in this area, and Tobin showed me around an old fish plant. So when the fish came down the track, it came into this building?
Yeah.
And then what would they do here?
They lay them on the plate and salt them down.
Hey, great boat. What's this kind of boat used for? He also showed me a fishing boat, still in use today.
Today they use it for fishing and hunting, and they also take it on their shoulder and go in the...
On your shoulders?
field. Yes.
How heavy is it?
It's not heavy. You can
Oh yeah, it's
try.
like made out of plastic.
Yes.
Okay. So they would like take the boat on their backs like a canoe, carry it up the mountain, go hunting.
From lake to lake.
Okay.
And go on hunting.
Can you take it on your shoulder?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let's see. I don't believe you.
I shall do that.
Okay. No, it's okay. You don't have. I don't want.
And yet at the same time a bit sad that I had missed that. The volcanoes were covered by clouds, so we couldn't get a good view of them. But the vista was an incredible sight to see.
Look at this lava, this formation of the lava here in Galapagos we call pahoehoe. Pahoehoe is a Hawaiian word that we use here in Galapagos. In the other side of the island, we can find the other kind of lava that we call because it's very difficult to walk on that kind of lava, and if you try, you will say ay 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 or ay ay.
Ay ay ay.
Right. Look, the animals there, those are the marine iguanas. In this island, Fernandina, we can find a very big colony of them living together in the same area as you see here, because they are trying to keep the normal temperature on their bodies.
Right.
Because when they go into the water, they have a very, very low heart system.
Oh, I see. It slows right down.
Yeah, very, very slow, like that.
How long can they last in the water?
They can go into the water 45 until 60 minutes.
Wow, that's quite a long time, actually.
Yeah,
yeah.
They are very good divers, and they can be into the water for a long time.
Yeah. What's the crown on their heads?
That's salt. When they go into the water looking for food, they drink a lot of salt water. So when they come to the island on land, they have to put all of that salt water out of their bodies. And that's the reason that why they spit salt water from their noses.
Oh, I see. And is there any way to tell how old they are at all, or?
Oh, they can live
difficult?
Yes, it's a little bit difficult, but the most bigger and the most fat iguanas are the most older.
Oh, the fatter the older, eh?
Yeah.
I see. I see.
They can live until 60 years old without any problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, 60 years old.
60 years old.
Wow.
Mountain in the middle of Sinai, and it's called El Til Mountain. And the reason we call it this name is that Moses and his people, when they were passing from Sinai to Jerusalem, they refused actually to proceed with Moses, so they got lost about 40 years.
40 years?
Yeah. The passage gets tiny sometimes to the extent that it takes one person to pass.
The little tree was the only form of vegetation that we saw. The rest was just sand and rock.
Look at this little tree in the mountain.
Are there a lot of little trees like this around here?
Oh, yeah, a few of them actually, but this is, one of the biggest here.
Yeah.
It grows actually inside the rock, and it gets the water from the cracks in the mountain itself.
The water banks when it rains?
Yeah, when it rains. It goes through the cracks and it banks inside. So this is how it gets the water in winter.
Right.
At the beginning of the canyon.
Yeah.
How beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It has variety of colors, and you can see how beautiful the colors are matching together, and the variety of it. It has black, red, yellow, brown, white, and it's actually matches with the green bush over there, and it makes very much contrast of a
woman washing clothes on the riverside. There were no washing machines here. Everything was done by hand.
Are you very tired now?
Yes, I am. Very tired now.
Me too. Yeah. But maybe I think that it's so windy, I just thought we take some.
Okay.
I didn't know Finland was so hilly. What are those mountains or hills out there? Where is that?
It's called Otsamo Mountain. And the village Inari, that is down a little bit to the left. When we came by snowmobile here, it takes about 10 kilometers.
Well, it's beautiful. What's the significance of this mountain here?
This has been a holy island for the Sami people.
Mm-hmm.
The name for this island is Äiji, what is in Sami language, means an old man or grandfather. In Finnish the same name is Ukko. Yeah. But Ukko means also in Finnish history and Sami history a god. Mm-hmm. And we remember when we were driving from long distance we could see this form, it has a special form.
Do they come and worship this island here?
Yes.
Because it had a special form.
A special form, and they later, some 100 years ago, in Finland, we have found here some rest of animals.
Oh, So they brought sacrifice, like human sacrifices. Human sacrifices too?
Yes. No, not that. Only animals.
Only animals, eh? Yeah, I see. Do people pray for something special?
Yes, they was praying for the good fishing time, this lake in Yry, because that was very important for them, and for the good year for the reindeer. Not too cold, not too warm.
It sounds like the Sami people are very much like the native people in Canada.
Yes.
The Inuit, the native people up there, where they seem to have like hundreds of words for the word snow.
They have the same, over 100 words for the snow, for example for the reindeer also. If I take the Finnish word reindeer, it's poro. It's only poro, but the in Sami language they can say in one word what is the color for that reindeer, how old is it good or not so good. It's the history about the Sami people. It's still unknown exactly. I can tell you only that it's
the extreme northern part of St. Pierre and Miquelon Islands. This is a very small territory. Miquelon and Langlade is a mere 200 square kilometers.
At one point we had to stop because there were wild horses in the middle of the road.
How many horses do you think approximately are on the island now?
Oh, it's over 100 for sure. 150, possibly more. They're free most of the year, but they're still fairly tame, you know. Sometimes you can approach them very easily. Sometimes you cannot.
Yes.
Depending on their mood, I guess.
Right. And does anyone own these horses?
Yes, most of them are owned by somebody, yes.
Ghana is full of little surprises. I was walking along the road and came upon this shop. Hello.
Hello.
I was just walking along the road here and I saw your shop and I was just wondering what all these wooden carvings are.
No, for a coffin.
They're coffins?
Yeah, it's a coffin.
For instance, like a...
Yeah, the shoe for a shoemaker.
Okay. And then the vegetables?
Yeah, pepper. Yeah, also for a pepper salad, or maybe a farmer who normally grow pepper.
So can I just take a look inside and see what it looks like?
But this one
I was really fascinated by this shop. Can I test it out?
Yeah.
Just, I can't tell my mother I did that. She wouldn't like that.
Yeah, nice like this. You see, you can stretch your legs.
Yeah. So you're going to close me up here. I get to see firsthand. I'll tell you, when that lid is coming over your head, it's a very uncomfortable feeling. It's a bit suffocating, and you wonder if that lid's going to come off. Okay, I think I'm ready to come out now. You don't want to do that too many times. Whoa. Oh.
We had to travel 7 miles through the jungle because the transportation that we were supposed to take couldn't get through the jungle. So we had to walk 7 miles, and really it was quite wonderful. It's 9 o'clock. Does that mean the boat is going to leave without us?
Yeah, they will leave.
We don't want to get stranded in the jungle for the next 3 days. Could we survive in the jungle with you and your machete?
Yeah.
Could we?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you eat? Those sour pineapples? After 7 miles walk through the jungle, the bar was great.
We need something cold. You can have some cold water.
Yeah, water? Oh, that's good. It had a lot of atmosphere, a great bartender. Thank you. Drank rainwater, which was supposed to be safe, and I didn't get sick. I was drinking water, rainwater the whole trip, and I wasn't ill at all.
No orange juice.
No orange juice? Oh, no. But you got some rum maybe, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we could have rum. Oh, no, I don't want to buy the whole bottle. God knows. Can I just taste a little? Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want to get drunk here. Cheers.
The museum is run by a man named Fodor Thomasson. And I heard him sing and play a beautiful Icelandic song on his old Icelandic organ. Fodor's songs about Icelandic culture, people, and history helped prepare me for the rest of my trip. On the wall next to his organ, one couldn't help but admire his family portraits.
that the Maroons, your people, have got a significantly different history than the rest of Jamaica.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that. Where does that come from?
First of all, that our foreparents had gotten their freedom before most of the other slaves that were on the plantations in Jamaica, in that they had taken it upon themselves to liberate themselves from the plantation. And they live in the mountains, and they fought against the British. Well, they fought against the Spaniards, but most of the fighting was against the British. Since there wasn't any gold around, any precious mineral, then their next best bet was agriculture, and sugarcane would have flourished. So because of that, they began to import more slaves. And importing more slaves to come and work on the plantation, where they knew for sure that outside there were people running around free, of African descent.
Yes.
And they were constantly invading these plantations. They would go there to make off with other slaves that they want to join up with them and fight in the mountains against the British. And they will go there and take off, you know, with the women that they want to come and live with them as well. So, and they also set up like a network of spies on the plantation, you know, slaves that would feed them with information. Whenever they were under, you know, imminent attack and things like that, they will get that information firsthand. And also, there were plantations that were close enough to the mountains where our ancestors would have been fighting. And these plantation owners were more or less siding with the Maroons. Not to say that they would does that openly or go out to fight with them, but they would not assist the soldiers, the British soldiers, in a manner that the soldiers thought was befitting to them, because being so close to the Maroons, their plantation could be overrun at any time.
So how do the Maroons relate to the rest of Jamaica today? If I were a Maroon woman, would I be focused on marrying a Maroon man so that I would have Maroon children and continue the line, or?
I don't think that is necessarily so at this point in time. What happened is that many years ago, it was customary for a Maroon woman to marry a Maroon man. It was not, the communities were that close, meaning to say you don't marry outside of the community so easily, because marriage were basically pre-arranged.
I see.
Meaning to say a man would not go out and ask for a woman. It was the parent of that man that would have gone out and say, well, you know,
you'll marry her.
Right.
Yes.
So that's how it was. But today, it is a whole different situation. People marry to whoever they feel like marrying. But then, at the back of everybody's mind, I want to marry somebody that I know something about. How do you go about that? You generally end up marrying the persons who live closer to you, or the people who you know.
Yes, you grew up with them.
You grow up with them, and you understand them. You know the ways about them. People are free to marry where you want to marry, but you know.
It just happens that they're who you spend time with, and so
Right.
that's who you fall in love with and marry.
That's
and
it.
have children with them.
That's how it goes.
I was fortunate enough to be introduced to a Bedouin woman and her son. The woman's name was Muhammad, meaning mother of, and Muhammad being her eldest son. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. They're very traditional in their ways. She'd had 10 children, although only the youngest was still with her. It was just the two of them living alone in the desert. What is your name?
name Alush.
Alush. This is your mother?
Yes.
You like tea? Shukran. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
4 sisters.
4.
But brother 5. 1 2 3 4 5.
5. So, and you, so 10 altogether?
Yes.
10 children?
10, yes.
So, big family?
Yes.
And your mother lives here with you? She lives in the tent?
Yeah, yeah.
You live in the tent?
Yes, yes.
And she has sheep out?
Yes.
Yeah. So does she take them to the desert every day? What's every day? She goes today and bukra,
بكرة yes.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes.
Out of it, good out of it, yes?
Yeah.
And she goes by herself? Yes. Just her and the
Yes,
sheep?
yes, yes, yes.
And what do you do? You?
Sleep.
Oh, you sleep. How old are you?
70.
Aha.
But name mother 48, 9.
Is she? Is that
49,
all? Yes. So I could come with her now, can I? And you can stay here?
Still here, yes.
Shukran. You go and sleep, yes? While we go and do the work. She was quite an amazing woman. I think she was about 10 years younger than me, but she looked quite old, and she was referred to as the old woman. So these are the goats over here, are they? There's a lot of them. She lived very simply, with a herd of goats and sheep all mixed in together. Okay. Right. Look at that coat on this one. That'll make a good tent, wouldn't it? Wow. Yeah, I bet you're hungry, aren't you? Little one, isn't it sweet? There. Are you all right? Or do you want some milk too? I don't have any to give you. You've got a mummy around here, have you? Yeah. All right then. Down you go. You're eating my backpack. This one's eating my scarf. You mustn't do that. So cute. This one wants attention now. Yes. So much excitement round here. I think they've got the idea now. Together, although she couldn't speak English and I could speak very little Arabic. Is this your wedding ring? Yes, on this hand? Your wedding ring? Yeah. Muhammad? Your husband Muhammad?
سنتين يعني راح سنتين رحمة أبو محمد عند ربه عند رب.
Oh, he died? Yeah.
أبو محمد.
And when did he die?
بعد سنتين.
2 years ago?
بعد سنتين. راح عند ربه. رحمة أبو محمد.
You sad? And my husband, he died to say سنة.
سنة.
9 years ago.
Yes.
Yes. We seemed to have quite a bond together, and after that, when we returned, she took my hand and helped me up the slope, and she seemed very happy to be with me.
He seemed to know so much about his country. It was very admirable.
Wow. Look at that. That is hanging plant, one-leaf plant.
A one-leaf plant?
Yeah. Mono is one, and Pilia pendula is a plant and hanging.
It was hot, I was dirty and tired. When we found the lagoon, I loved the opportunity to cool down, splash off, and
Where are we going?
We're just going to have a look at the Auberge of Castile. This used to be one of the main palaces of the knights here in Malta.
All the knights lived in this one place?
Not all of the knights, but the knights who came from the region of Castile, Leon and Portugal, one of the European regions where the knights originated from.
You said this was like a hotel, but they lived here?
Yes, this is a palace where the knights actually lived and slept and relaxed. This was their home. They had their own servants. They needed servants to help them get dressed every morning. And also in the evenings they would have banquets in a large hall and at a long table, and they would eat their food on silver plates using silver forks and knives, and drinking their wine from silver cups.
So they lived a very lavish lifestyle.
Yes, in fact they were the youngest sons of the richest families in Europe.
According to our fairy tales, we always imagine knights in shining armor. Did they wear that actually, or what did they wear?
Well, here in Malta, the war season was always in the summer months. And you have to remember that a lot of the knights were elderly, and if they had to wear all that suit of armor on them, it would have been quite difficult for them to go out and actually fight the enemy. They did have full suits of armor, but these were mostly worn by the Grand Masters in special ceremonies, or else when the knights were on horseback.
So what would they normally wear? What type of clothing? Did they wear suits or robes? Or?
Yes, the knights wore usually a black robe with a white 8-pointed cross.
You never wanted to go in there?
Only on official invitation by the Prime Minister. Maybe he'll peep out and we'll ask him if we can go and have a look.
Sleeping under the stars has always been a romantic thing for me, but gazing up into the universe can also be pretty intimidating. Around the campfire that night, Abram began singing a traditional Berber song. It was really quite enchanting. It really made me feel a part of my surroundings.
For me, at an incredibly personal level, was getting to know the children. There was this little girl, Mina. Fantastic. There was just such an openness there. The easiest way of getting to know her was through my hands. I needed to touch this child. So we started to play.
My mother knows your mother, so we can be.
And after a while, a simple little line in the sand was enough to get this child to sit in front of me and go at patty cake full time. It was wonderful.
That's good. And 3 and 4.
Mina was going to be an invaluable asset because I did notice that the men would regard us. They started to watch to see what was going on between this Western woman and this child. Mina became my way of communicating with that family.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
I've met women on this trip that I think have progressed far beyond some of the women I know and myself. They've been able to survive in climates and in economies that are completely weighted against them. I'm enthralled by them and made humble by them. Going to the well, another challenge in the desert. Going to the well was going to be physical labor. But this child made it so easy because this was her job. I mean, her job was every day to go out to this well and get maybe 8 to 10 plastic bottles full of water. Sounds easy enough, but that was about an hour's journey into the desert for this child who was probably 8 years old. Mina and I got there, and it didn't matter if I didn't know what she was saying or she didn't know what I was saying. We were having fun. I suddenly became part of this very important and basic family unit. Even if it was just for a really brief moment in time, it was just wonderful. It was very special.
Malemchi had one of the worst outhouses I've ever seen in my entire life. I have never seen anything like it. Oh yeah, right. Lovely.
It was here that I met my guide, Mara.
Hey,
Hi.
what's up? How are you doing?
Mara.
Yes.
I'm Melva.
Melva? Oh, yeah. According to the description, that's you, really.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Since when are you here?
I just got here. So
Oh, great. So you're enjoying your first sun on Gorée Island, too?
my beautiful first sun in Senegal. It's very nice. Mara, tell me what we're going to be seeing on Gorée today.
On Gorée Island, you may be seeing architecture, but the most important side is the history. And as you know, slavery happened here. And whenever we're talking about slavery, I think, we can't forget to mention it, Gorée Islands. Because, 3 centuries, maybe and a half, happens a slave trade, which is a sad story in the past. So we're gonna be seeing the slave house,
So Gorée Island was a real center for slavery many years ago.
Exactly.
Wow, so this is the inside of the slave house.
This present slave house, it dates back to 1776, built by the Dutch.
The Dutch.
And it is the last built slave station on this island, because for the first ones go back to 1536, built by the Portuguese, who were the first European who have fallen off the soil at this island in 1444. Men, women, and children kept in separate cells. They would be sitting with their backs against the wall, shackled around their necks and arms. In each cells, usually it used to be between 15 to 20 inside the rooms. And as you can see, it's a very small rooms. And generally, one could find one whole family, father, mother, and child separated. It's like the father would be going to Louisiana, the mother to Cuba or Brazil, and the child to Haiti or the West Indies.
So they would split the family
Exactly.
altogether.
Exactly.
Now, what can you tell me about this door here?
Along this long stretching corridor leading to the sea, we walk into the door of the voyage no return.
So this door here is the actual door of no return.
Yes, the door of no return, which means once the slave put their feet here, it means bye-bye Africa. And from this side, usually those guards was be leading over here for real security.
On each side,
yes,
to make sure
and
that
the
no
slave
one
will be lining up two
This
by
way.
two, chained around their necks to be shipped.
And then would there be more guards here as well?
Two guards,
Two
also
guards.
another two guards there waiting. So which means that there was no way for them to escape.
There was no way. So what rooms are these here?
Oh, this used to be was privileged for the men. And as you can see, it used to be a very small rooms where it used to be loaded over to 15 to 20 slaves. And the cells you see in front of this used to be the weighing room.
The weighing room?
The weighing room.
Where they would weigh the slaves to see if
Exactly.
they were strong enough to travel?
go.
To see if they were
Strong enough
Strong
to travel,
enough.
but also for the negotiation for the price, because it's from this weighing room they can evaluate the strength of each of every slave. And
So
then-
the heavier they were, the stronger they were, the more they could ask for them.
Exactly.
So up here on the top floor is where the masters lived.
Yes, it used to be the house of the masters, and we still remind that, how come the masters living in these comfortable places and knowing what's going on downstairs.
And they had a balcony,
They have a balcony.
and they could stand here and watch the slaves leave through that door.
Yes.
How many sheep do you have?
¿Cuántas ovejas tienes?
700.
Just here they are 700.
700 here? Do you have more than the 700?
¿Tienes más que estas?
Sí. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he has more.
Now, do you do this full time?
¿Lo haces, te dedicas solamente a esto?
Sí, bueno, y a las viñas también. Pero sí.
And he works here and also with the wine jars.
He's here and
He also has wine jars.
Oh, you have vineyards as well.
Yeah.
Well, this is the region for it. Did you learn this from your father, or is something you started yourself?
¿Este trabajo lo aprendiste de tu padre, de alguien de tu familia?
Sí, de mi padre.
Yeah, he learned that from his father.
Shepherd had a dog and a donkey. Okay. I'm not edible, you know. I'm definitely not edible. And the dog was amazing. Can you show us how he uses his dog to move the sheep? He helped to herd the sheep in different directions. All the shepherd had to do was move his hands, and the dog would run after the sheep and move the sheep in any direction the shepherd wanted. A dog is smarter than most people I know. I hope you get fed well tonight. You think the dog would listen to me if I sent it off?
You only have to move your hands, he will do it.
Okay, well, let's see.
¿Lo puede intentar ella?
He's not, the dog isn't going to listen to me.
He doesn't know you, so he's not going to pay attention on you.
Okay, well, that's a pretty smart dog then.
Beautiful Buddhist temples, and Sudha took me to visit one. Sudha, could you tell me a little bit about the protocol or etiquette when you go into a temple?
Oh yes, of course. First of all, we must take a shoe off.
Okay.
Yes. So I would like to show you about the green jade Buddha up here. It's beautiful Buddha.
It's gorgeous.
It's a new made.
It's newly made?
Yes, newly made. 5-6 years ago. Yes, Sandy, I would like to show you how to sit in the temple, okay?
Okay.
Just kneel down here, okay? I know it's not very easy, but you can try. Like that. How you feel?
Very good.
Yeah? Okay, we do the why when we come to temple for pay the respecting to Lord Buddha.
Okay.
And we bend down for 3 times. 1, and there's 2, and 3.
So would you come here and meditate, or is
yes,
it?
Yes, temple is like a community, open for everyone. You can come whenever you want.
You don't have services, like you come here on your own?
Yeah.
Okay.
But actually we have a Buddhist Sabbath day, like Christian people go to church on Sunday, every Sunday, right? But Buddhism is different. The Sabbath day is not fixed. It's not every Sunday. It depends on the moon. A waxing moon and a waning moon. It could be changed every week. For example, if this week, Monday, next week could be Sunday, something like that. Every 7 days is changed. And on the Buddhist Sabbath day, Buddhist people, they come to the temple, they can offering food, flowers, candle or incense, and they pray. Today is the first day of a Buddhist Lent or the rain retreat. It lasts for 3 months. In Buddhism, these 3 months is a good time for the young men to become a monk. They can practice, they can study about Buddhism. Yeah.
Is there anything for women?
Yeah, but not very necessary. Women, they can become a nun. They wear a white robe and they shave the hair like a monk, but their robe is white. That is we call nun.
And the men, then they're in the orange. Is that what we see?
Yeah, they are a monk.
Nearby, there were some monks praying an elaborate ritual. It was fascinating to watch.
This is, yeah, it is.
Thank you very much.
I hope.
That.
Yeah, you feel better.
Peaceful.
That's right.
Yes,
that is what people come to temple for. When you feel better, you feel happy, you feel.
What I find absolutely astounding is that perhaps a week and a half ago, I never heard the word Seminole. And now I'm not an expert, but I've seen some Seminole. I've seen part of their culture.
I thought I should at least know how to count in Arabic. These boys were helping me count to 10.